The show that you do at your house, you're in Centennial, would you say? You're in
Yeah,
Centennial.
yeah, it's Centennial.
You're kind of in the middle of
area. Yeah,
Aliante, Centennial.
Yeah, it's like on the edge of Centennial and North Las Vegas.
Yeah. How often do you do that show? How many times a year?
It really varies. That 2013 season, we did one a month.
Oh, did you really?
We did a bunch of them just to try to, because we could. It was the only thing we could do after the whole thing had kind of fallen apart, and we figured we'd try to build a little fan base and get things going. And our first show had like 150 people. By the time we kind of wrapped up that season, we were probably about 500 people a pop.
And the one I went to last year, how many were that? That was pretty big.
It was like 1,000.
Okay. Which is, and what he does, he puts the show on at his house in his yard. I wouldn't really say yard, property.
Yeah, backyard basically.
Yeah, pretty much everything's built by scratch. The bleachers, and people come and they donate money. They buy like clothing. They donate. You got free photographers there. You got videographers helping you out. And it's a really, really cool vibe, isn't it? Like,
it's actually a lot of fun. So we're
something to highly recommend checking out.
October 29th is the next one we're doing here. So
most people hate what they do for a living, and here you are traveling the world, getting paid to do what you love. How does someone do that? Like, how does someone break away from the rat race, get out of that stupid job they hate, and start following the passion?
You got to be willing to take risk. I mean,
that's a big one, right?
That's the big thing. Is it's really safe to go, hey, I'm going to go work for GM
and take your paycheck.
I got my paycheck. It comes in every week. I know what I'm making. It's a big company. They're not going anywhere. And if they do, my experience translates to now I can go work at Ford. No big deal.
100%. Yeah.
Doing something like this it's a niche market. If I can't find work, it's not like I can just be like, oh, I'll just work for this other place. Like,
I'll just work in this other horse show.
So it's a big risk, and you have to be willing to A, take that risk, and B, it never goes smoothly. It's not like you make a plan business, and it goes, it's a business, and it doesn't always make money. So I've done everything from bounced at strip clubs to rebuilt Harley motors to whatever. When the money's not where it needs to be, and we need some, my overhead's still high. I got 20 horses to feed, if nothing else. So you just have to diversify your abilities and really like, okay, so I have these skill sets. This is what I'm focusing on. But when I need money coming in, what can I do to pull money?
Do what it takes to make the money to keep the show running.
Right. I mean,
through the highs and the lows.
Right. And sometimes things are great, and sometimes they're not. And because the way this show's structured, it's like a huge chunk of money comes in, and then it all dwindles away, and that big chunk of money comes in, and then it all dwindles away.
And is that just a lack of consistent?
Yeah, it's just because we don't have enough, and 2020 did not help anything.
COVID.
We just, like, everything was kind of where it was supposed to be, and then COVID happened, but life happens.
Yeah, that's part of this, isn't it?
You just have to deal with it.
You got exciting news coming up. You're going to be in a Netflix show, correct?
Yeah, a movie.
In a movie.
It's Rebel Moon.
How do you get that? Like, how does someone find you?
That is actually that's very amazing, bizarre. Right? It's actually a very bizarre story how that worked out.
What was it, by the way? Sorry,
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
It's Zack Snyder film.
Okay.
There's a bunch of big names in it. I can't talk about it a lot, but you're welcome to Google it, and you'll get way more information than I'm allowed to tell you.
So how does Netflix find you?
So it's actually a very bizarre turn of events. I turned down a circus show because I had another event that I was supposed to do, and I turned it down.
Is this recently?
Last year.
Okay.
They hired Kansas Carradine, who's David Carradine's daughter.
Okay.
To do the show, and we used to work together on Cavalia. She was coming down to get to them. She had to go through Vegas, and she hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'm coming through Vegas to do this gig. Do you mind can I lay over at your place?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." The Zope gig? Yeah. Oh, cool. Actually, I did that last year, and didn't do it this year, so I guess you got picked up. Cool. So she came down, hung out a little bit, saw the horses, went and did the gig, and then went and visited a friend of hers, Tad Griffith, who is a stunt guy in LA.
Okay.
If you saw the Zorro with Antonio Banderas, he's the guy who stood on the horse and jumped over the tree branch.
Okay. Yeah.
He was in a bunch Superman and Spider-Mans and a bunch of other stuff, but that's kind of the easy. And I've known him. I've talked, like, we've met a few times over the years, forever, but not like on a not good friend kind of thing. And so she went and visited him, and he just happened to be. They were talking about an upcoming movie he was trying to get set up for. I said, "Yeah, I need a bunch of draft horses that can be ridden in stunts and stuff." And she's like, "Oh, I was just at Eric's place."
How crazy is that?
And he has all those. Says, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that."
Okay, because you're not too close.
Yeah,
you didn't really think of it.
Yeah, he didn't. And he's like, "Oh, I forgot about him. I wonder if he'd be interested." So then he hit me up, and we started talking. And
how cool is that?
Yeah, so totally random, weird, and who knows? I mean, there's not a lot of, most draft horses pull a wagon. So he may have ended up finding me on it anyway, just because there's not a lot of options. But the way it worked out was pretty funny.
That's amazing.